Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Why am I getting these notifications? It's just like it waits till right now to start sending notifications. Anyway, what's good, everybody? Welcome back. So a Saturday live stream for you guys, and I figured for this live stream, kind of take a break away from Pixels and just kind of talk about the service providers that I use and how I rank them. Um, which is going to be kind of like an unorthodox ranking, only because each one of them has a specific reason why I tend to use them. And, but uh, I guess I will kind of narrow it down to say, like, what if I had to only utilize one, which one would it be? I'll get to that to the end. But anyways, yeah, so we're going to be talking about Google Fi. We're going to be talking about Visible, and we're going to be talking about Los Mobile. And, to be quite honest with everybody, like, these are good carriers to subscribe to for services, and each one caters to a specific a specific demographic, a specific market of users, only because they have initial things about them that the other do not really provide in that same sense, if that makes any sense to you. So I'm going to go over each one of them. And let me go to Fi real quick. I'll pop my Fi referral in the chat. And I'll link it in the description later on. That way, if anyone wants to, sign up, why not, right? So there's my referral code for Google Fi. If you use my referral code to sign up for Google Fi, you get $20 on your $20 off your bill when you sign up. So, and then of course that helps me out because then I get a $20 credit after whoever uses my referral code, after they've completed 30 days of service, I get a $20 credit. So it's a win-win type of situation here. Anyways, so there's that one. Let me log into Visible. I'll give my Visible. I might as well just give them all at the very beginning here. Okay. Logging into my Visible. I should have had all these things pulled up ahead of time, but yeah. Leave it to me to be kind of okay, let's sign in. As you're coming in, feel free to say hi, what's up, how your Saturday's going so far. Today is turning out to be a pretty good day, for me at least. So I couldn't complain. Couldn't complain at all. Let me see if I'll actually post like a link or something. Yeah, what's up, Bobby? There we go. There's my Visible referral. So with Visible, it's a little bit different. When you use my referral code, you sign up, I think you get your first month at $5, and my next month's bill would actually be $5 for me. So it's a win-win there. I don't have a referral code to Los Mobile. However, yeah, maybe Carlos will pop in here in a little bit, the CEO of Los Mobile. Maybe he'll pop in here in a little bit. And if he does, and if he has any like type of promotion going on or promo code or anything like that, he'll pop it in. There is sad news. What's sad? Here in a second, I'll start talking about the two. Start talking about the well, not the two, but the three different plans. I'll start talking about the three different plans. I mean, yeah, that's gotta be sad news for you. But it is what it is, right? Can't really complain like too hard. At least, you'll be able to upgrade and get the iPhone 13. At least you'll be able to do that. So, all right. Anyways, let me get into this. Google Fi Visible Wireless, or just basically visible. It's just visible. I don't know. We're so used to just calling it Visible Wireless because Verizon Wireless, but it's just called Visible. So Google Fi Visible Los Mobile, right? 3 carriers that I use, and each one provides me something that I absolutely enjoy having the benefit of having. Google Fi basically is an MVNO, right? So it's a mobile virtual network operator. It basically uses T-Mobile and US Cellular's network. So with that being said, it doesn't have its own network. It doesn't have a built-out network completely solely by itself. It utilizes those networks. So Google Fi in itself, the big writing on the wall that makes Google Fi, useful is international travel. International travel is going to be like one of the primary things that I say that, for those people who are looking for a carrier that provides usage outside of the United States, coverage outside of the United States, Google Fi is going to be the one I'm going to recommend. Some of the reasons why: one, there's no international add-on. So you don't get Google Fi service, and then when you're going to travel, say to Europe, you have to go and call them and add an international plan. It's already included in your plan, automatically given to you, whether you travel outside the US or not. You already have access to it. When you're on their most expensive plan, which is the $70 the full unlimited plan, you get calling internationally to 50 plus countries free. And then there's a per minute rate for the remainder of the countries around the world. You'd have to look that up on their website to kind of see what the per minute rate is for phone calling. But for me, one of the 50 countries, like I said before in previous live streams and videos, is that Thailand, where my mom lives, is one of the 50 countries where if I call her right now on my phone, it's not going to charge me an additional bill to talk to her. I could talk to her for 6 hours. It's not going to charge me a huge bill for that phone call because it's included as an unlimited calling internationally. So you get unlimited calling internationally outside of the US. So not just focused on Canada or Mexico, but in 50 plus countries, you have unlimited calling. You just have to look at the list of those countries to see which countries is unlimited calling. And then, of course, if you're going to travel outside of the US, you're going to have service wherever you go. And that includes China. Google Fi can get over the Great Firewall of China. That is one thing I find absolutely cool about it. So while China's internet, basically, they have a firewall that blocks people who live in China from accessing certain websites that they don't want their people to view. If you're using Google Fi, you are able to access those. So if China doesn't allow people to get on Facebook, when you're in China visiting, vacationing, or on business trip, you'll be able to access your Facebook. It is not blocked. So you're able to use it there. And like I said, it just works. There are people who have posted YouTube videos, you can look those up yourselves, who show themselves being on an airplane and crossing country state lines, and their Google Fi phone telling them welcome to South Korea, welcome to China, welcome to Japan, welcome to the Philippines. It just works wherever it goes, right? And obviously that's going to have to be because of the relations that T-Mobile has with international countries. So that plays a big part in Google Fi. So international calling is going to be its biggest thing, right? It's hands down no secret at all whatsoever. Google Fi's main bread and butter is going to be international calling. And, on Reddit, I see a lot of people talking about it. They're like, what's the purpose of having Google Fi now that Sprint and T-Mobile's merged? You don't have 3 carrier choice options, Yeah, you don't have 3 carrier choice options on Google Fi anymore. You have 2 carrier choice options, which initially was what Google Fi started as when it was known as Project Fi. So when Project Fi first launched, you had access to Sprint's network, you had access to T-Mobile's network, and you could smart switch in between. They didn't add US Cellular until about a year and a half after the launch of Project Fi. So now it's back down to 2 carrier support, US Cellular, T-Mobile. And so you still have the ability to smart switch, and this actually definitely impacts, especially if you're going through Midwest states, because in the Midwest states and in NorCal, US Cellular is present there, which is funny because there's access to US Cellular's network in NorCal or Northern California areas, which is funny because here in Arizona we don't have US Cellular at all. Like there's no shop set up here in Phoenix. There's no shop set up in Flagstaff, Arizona, that sells US Cellular devices and sets up US Cellular new accounts. So it's just kind of crazy to see that California has those options, but we don't here in Arizona. But nonetheless, when you're traveling through the Midwest, US Cellular is pretty dominant out there and very good. So you have the ability that if you're in Midwest areas, you can switch over to US Cellular's network if you want to, which is something that I use. So I have Google Fi on my Pixel 5, and one of the apps that I use that's very helpful, which I wish they would just integrate this into the stock Google Fi app rather than having to use a third-party app, is an app called Fi Switch. So Fi Switch allows me to see which carrier I'm connected to. So if I open up my notification shade, so it shows my signal strength and everything like that. And then those three buttons at the bottom, you see T-Mobile, US Cellular, and Auto. So I can actually force it to US Cellular's network. I can force it to T-Mobile's network, or I can switch it back to where it's running in auto mode, where it'll auto switch on its own. And so that's a really neat app to have. And I really wish that those features were actually incorporated into Google Fi. That would have been actually pretty cool. Now, the other really, really neat thing about Google Fi is the fact that you can control your spending on Google Fi. So if you're not a person that uses a lot of mobile data, you can switch over, you can sign up for Google Fi and go on what's called their Fi Flex. Fi Flex, literally exactly what it is. $20 a month for unlimited talk and text, and then you're charged $10 per gigabyte that you use. With a single line, it's capped at 6 gigabytes of data. Once you hit 6 gigs of data, they stop charging you that $10 per gig. So the max bill you're going to get is $80 for a single line. 20 for the 5 basics, which is the unlimited talk and text, and then $10 per gigabyte after that. Now, the reason why it's set up like that, someone would be like, well, that's not very good. $80, that's pretty expensive. Well, yeah, the whole point of it is that, you control your bills. So, if you're always on home Wi-Fi, your job has Wi-Fi, the mall you go to every day has Wi-Fi, you shop at Target like 5 days a week and that has Wi-Fi. You have access to all these open Wi-Fi hotspots that Google has partnered with to allow this to happen. So your phone's always seeking out Wi-Fi connection, and when it finds it, it will connect you to it. And then you're using Wi-Fi and not mobile data, means that you could relatively have a bill that's like $30, literally $30 or less. If you use less than a gig of mobile data and all your data usage is done on Wi-Fi, you can have an extremely low bill. And the reason why I say that is because most people that go out and about, like I go out and about, you know what I mean? A lot. And I am very rarely watching YouTube videos or watching HBO Max on the go or anything like that, because I'm having casual conversations with my significant other while we're driving somewhere, or I'm having conversations with friends. And so those things, believe it or not, keep me away from my phone, where I'm not using media services like Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, HBO Max, etc. The most that I do with data on my phone when I'm out and about is, take a picture and upload it to a social platform, or open up one of my social networking accounts and reading what those people that I follow, what they're saying, what they've posted, those types of things, right? Which has become the norms in society today. And that's pretty much all I do. And that doesn't really hit like 1 gig in one day. Like there are people who report that they use about, they could use 1 terabyte of data in one day. Not one day, but like in a month's time. And that's because they're doing a lot of active things and they're solely relying on data. There are some people who have home internet, but they don't connect their mobile phone to their home Wi-Fi. They just run it off as is. And that's how they accumulate so much data usage on there. But with the Fi Flex plan, you can literally just have a bill really cheap if you're just using home internet, home Wi-Fi and stuff like that. And then the final thing that I like about Google Fi, is the fact that you have data only SIM options. So, you can share your data without having to actually keep your phone turned on in hotspot mode. You can order yourself from Fi these little things right here. And you see how they're orange and white. They differ from the regular Fi SIM cards. So regular Fi SIM cards are all white, and then the data onlys are white and orange, so you don't get them confused. And what these things do, obviously, is they provide data to something, say, such as your tablet. If you have like a LTE model tablet, you can have data used in it. And the data that's used from that data only SIM counts against your data that you have on your single line. So let's say you're on the $70 unlimited plan with international and everything, right? And the Google One subscription to it. Let's say you're on that. If you have that data only SIM in your tablet and you've used 1 gig of data from your tablet and you've used 2 gigs on your phone so far in your bill cycle, then it'll read out that you used 3 gigs. The data usage from that data only SIM card counts against the line that it is absolutely set up with. So you can share your data without having to turn on mobile hotspot on your phone all the time. You can even use this data-only SIM card in a little MiFi hotspot box. So like those little miniature Wi-Fi mobile hotspot boxes. If it's T-Mobile compatible, you can put the SIM in there and it will give out internet through the SIM card. So you can actually run a hotspot and not run your phone as a hotspot. Of course, again, the data that's used is going to count against what was used off that hotspot box, or what was used off the tablet, or even putting it in a backup phone and using Google Voice for VoIP calls and texts. You can do that, right? Like literally, I can have 5 data-only SIM cards on my Google Fi line, plus my Google Fi line itself. So that's 6 phones. I can have 6 phones running, but of course, it's all using the same data that counts towards the main line itself. Now, the caveat to Google Fi is that there is a 22 gigabyte throttle, okay? The throttle caps, not DPRIO, it's throttle cap. So when you go over 22 gigs, you are initially slowed down for the remaining of your bill cycle. You could add on more fast internet by just paying $10 per gig beyond the 22 gig threshold, which I wouldn't recommend. Now again, 22 gigabytes, that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit, but that's kind of a low point. As you have like Boost Mobile that does 35, I believe Metro by T-Mobile does 35 or 30. Mint Mobile I think does 35. So a lot of other MVNOs, prepaids and stuff like that, they do 35. 1 sec, hold on. Whoa, I did not want to sneeze on camera. I'm sorry. But anyways, yeah. So a lot of other prepaid companies and MVNOs offer 35 gig before throttling, and Google Fi does 22. So hopefully one day they kind of change their deal with T-Mobile and they can up their throttle point to 35. That would be cool. But that's like one of the downside caveats. The other thing is the $60 Simply Unlimited plan, which pretty much mirrors the $70 unlimited plan, but you don't get access to the Google One subscription, which gives you 100 gigs of cloud storage. You don't get the international calling. You don't get the international usage. So it's literally just like having it's basically an unlimited plan that competes with Metro and Boost Mobile. Then there's not really much of an incentive to really sign up for that, other than the fact is that it's $10 cheaper than Fi's full unlimited plan, which is crazy. All in all, I find myself going back to Google Fi for 2 reasons. One is the international calling from the US to 50 plus countries for free, because I do like staying in touch with my mom and talking to her. Matter of fact, I'm due to call her later on today just to see how she's doing, but I do like having that. The other thing is the Google One cloud storage. Yes, I know most of my phones that I have pretty much fall under that unlimited photo backup from Google Photos, even though they've ended that for non-Pixel devices. my phones still fall into that. Now, when I get me a Pixel 6, obviously that's not going to fall into the unlimited, um, you know, normal res or reduced resolution photo backup. So having 100 gigs of cloud storage is actually pretty quite nice to have, and that's included in the plan that I have with Google Fi. So I get that. I get the international calling, and then if I go, which I know I'm going to have to go to Thailand, then at that point, I know my phone service will work there. And so, in a nutshell, it's kind of good to have. Now, let's kind of switch tracks and go over to Visible. So, Visible is a sub company under Verizon. So Verizon owns Visible. Okay, I've made the mistake before calling it an MVNO because I talk pretty fast or whatever, and I've had some jokers come on there and they always want to one up somebody on YouTube. You know what I mean? So here's your biscuits. I'm handing out biscuits left and right. I'm handing them out for those people who want to be smart Alex. But anyways, so I'll emphasize that so that way I don't have no jokers pop up and start talking some smack. Visible is owned by Verizon. Okay. Now Visible does have its own CEO. There is a chief executive officer that runs Visible, but Visible is owned by Verizon. Now, if you ask why would Verizon have Verizon prepaid and then have Visible? Same way how Sprint used to have Boost Mobile and used to have Virgin Mobile and used to have Sprint prepaid. These companies, they just have it all out. But Visible is unique in its own way. First of all, there are no physical stores, which I know the Google Fi service does not have a physical store either. Neither does Visible. There's no physical stores for Visible, and that was one of the big things that they talked about when they first launched a couple of years back, was that every bit of money that they made through subscriptions, they could reinvest that back into the customers, allowing for for more deals, for really all kinds of unorthodox things, because they weren't having to pay rent to rent a physical building. They weren't having to pay an electric bill to run in that building. They weren't having to pay a lot of things. They weren't having to pay a lot of physical employees. I mean, they do have employees that work for them. Obviously, they have chat, customer service. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But Visible basically is just an app. But the call and texting does not rely in the app, right? You don't have to use the Visible app to make a phone call or use it to send a text message, right? Everything is done from the native apps on your phone. But the service sign up and the service control is done through an app. So that's Visible for you. Now, Visible gives you unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data with no cap, no throttle cap, none of that stuff. And you get unlimited mobile hotspot. Now, they say with the mobile hotspot, you can connect one device to your phone and use the mobile hotspot. I've tested that out. I've used 5 devices with the mobile hotspot. Other people are reporting the same thing. They've done it with their iPhones. They've done it with other unlocked Android devices. So that's one of the big things about it. It's just completely unlimited. So you're not worrying about thresholds of passing thresholds and stuff like that. You're not worried about those things, right? 30 days of service, unlimited everything. Talk, text, data, hotspot. Boom, done. Now, Visible has some unique things about it, okay? Number one, they have their unorthodox family plan. As when Visible first started, that was one of the things that a lot of people kind of asked them. They're like, hey, Visible's great, and it's great. I'm using it. Single line, I'm using it. But I have my wife, my kids, I want to get them on it. Is there some sort of discount that we get if we bundle a family together? And at the time, Visible did not have any family plans to offer. It was just straight wireless service provided, $40 a month, with taxes and fees included, and you got unlimited everything. So after some time, Visible launched Visible Party, also known as Party Pay. But they went a different way. They didn't do a traditional family plan. So they were like, okay, you know what? You have a line with Visible. You want your wife and your kids to have Visible service. Get them individual lines. And once all of you guys are on an individual line with Visible, you create a party and you invite them to join your party. And when they join your party, we will reduce your bill by $5 to bringing your bills as low as $25 per line if you have 4 members in your party. That's actually pretty good savings. Unlimited everything for $25. And if, like, let's say like the main person of the party pay is late paying his bill, everybody else is not affected. Their bill doesn't skyrocket up or anything like that. It's only if he cancels his account, then the party is dissolved. So they brought party pay. And now recently they've extended party pay beyond 4 members. So you can have 156 members on your party pay, I believe, to that amount. The discount stops at 4 people though. So just because you have, like, let's say 10 people, it doesn't mean that you're going to erase your bill completely. The discounts is applied to the first four members of the party, and then after that, that's it. So the first 4 people pay 25, and then every other member that's added to that party is going to pay 25 also. So that's actually good. You can really get a lot of people, unlimited, fully unlimited everything for very cheap. And best part about it is that a lot of YouTubers have their own party account. And so they have like a massive amount of people that's, linked up with their party and are saving on a service plan that's going to cost them $25 a month. Now, along the party pay, they also have a newer referral system. They had an older referral system. Trust me, I know. I banked big on that before the fiasco happened. But their new referral system is that when you refer somebody signs up with Visible with your referral code, then your next bill is going to be $5. So that's easily lopping off another $20. And that makes your bill $5 for the next month. And you can accrue up to 12 at a time. But it's kind of weird how that works. So let's say you sign up for Visible today and like 12 people that would want to join Visible. So you give them your referral code, they sign up, and because they use your referral code, their first month's bill is $5. And then you've built up 12 of those, right? So for the next 12 months, you're only going to be paying $5 for your Visible service. But let's say like your bill's due tomorrow and it's $5 and you paid your bill, right? So now you have 11 months of $5. It doesn't mean that you're stuck at that and that's it. Because if somebody else uses your referral code and signs up, then you'll gain back that $5 credit, or not but that $5 bill pay. So now you're back to 12. So you can consistently keep paying $5 a month as long as you're proactively sharing your referral code and getting new subscribers over to Visible. So yeah, that's also pretty dang cool. Like, you can have unlimited everything. If you have that flair to just attract people into something and you get consistently keep 12 months of the $5 bill pay because of the referral code, you're literally getting everything. Unlimited talk, text, data, hotspot for $5. Like, you can't beat that. That's pretty solid. So Visible kind of falls on the far side of the spectrum from Google Fi, which is a bit expensive, right? Visible is a bit cheaper, and you can even make it just even more cheaper. So that is it with Visible. It relies on Verizon's network, but it doesn't have 3G support. So it will only work where Verizon LTE is available. So if you're in rural America where you get Verizon 3G, but you don't get Verizon LTE or Verizon 5G, then Visible is not going to work for you in those areas. I have used Visible traveling, and it's been solid from traveling from state to state. So I have no complaints there when it comes to Visible. The only downside that I have to Visible right now that's considered a caveat is one, their 5G. Now, if you're in an area where Verizon has millimeter wave 5G, then Visible will pick up that millimeter wave connection. Other than that, it's pretty much throttled, the 5G. What I mean by that is that you can have 5G access, but it's going to cap the speed at at max 200 megabits per second on the download. So even if the phone could actually go beyond that and go to like 500 megabits, 600 megabits, it is capped at 200. That's obviously going to be something between the parent company Verizon and the baby company Visible, why it's set that way. But I can tell you guys that with the 5G connection that I've had with Visible in my Pixel 5, I've seen speeds, that hit like 190. It's usable. If you're someone who live streams content to various platforms, it's usable. But even with very weak signal, like in my room right here, Visible maybe has 1 or 2 bars that it shows. But I can still like watch YouTube videos in it's 480p, it's DVD quality. So I can't do it like in 4K. I couldn't do it in full HD res, so 1920 by 1080. I couldn't do it in that, and it can slightly do it in 720. But 480 is where it's going to default and have like a smooth play without buffering. And so I can watch YouTube videos here off Wi-Fi on Visible's network with only 2 bars of signal. Because this is like, I don't know what this is. This is like what built on the UFO landing site or what? I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, Visible gives unlimited everything, but the downside to Visible for me is that there is no international calling yet. You can use it in Mexico and in Canada. You can call to Mexico and Canada. That's included with Visible, but there's no like 50 plus countries or 120 plus countries. Visible just works here. And if you travel outside the US, it's not going to work unless it's places like Canada and Mexico. But if you go to like Japan, you go to Guam, you go to the Philippines, Okinawa, it's just not going to work. So that is a downside of Visible. And on a side note, when you buy phones from Visible, like you buy devices from them, they're unlocked. So there's no need to wait to have it unlocked in case Visible just doesn't work for you and you decide to go somewhere else. But you bought a phone through Visible, it's unlocked. You'll be able to take it to another provider. And the same thing is with Google Fi. So the phone that you buy from Google Fi, which obviously is the Pixel phones that they sell, but then also they sell some Samsung devices and a couple of Motorola devices. Those devices aren't locked to Google Fi. They are automatically already out of the box unlocked. So if let's say that you get the Pixel 5a, you try out Google Fi, because right now they're running a promotion with Google Fi that if you buy a Pixel 5a, you get 3 months of Google Fi free. And so if you buy the Pixel 5a and you're using Google Fi and it's just not working out for you, you can literally just run using it for the next couple of months, or maybe like put the Fi service in a backup unlocked device. As long as it supports T-Mobile, it'll work. And you can take your Pixel 5a and take it to Visible. You can take it to Boost Mobile. You can take it to Metro. You can take it to, if Fi's not working, Metro's not going to work that well either. Or you can take it to Cricket, or you can go to like a non-prepaid companies. You can take it to Verizon, AT&T, US Mobile, US Cellular. You can take it to any of those guys. It's unlocked. So that's the cool thing about both Google Fi and Visible. Like their devices they sell are unlocked. They're not locked to the carrier, like Boost and Metro and them do. The last one on the list to talk about is Los Mobile. And I'll tell you right now, Los Mobile basically it is an MVNO, so it's running off AT&T's network. Los Mobile is very different from the previous 2 carriers I'm talking about, because this is what I call the unorthodox prepaid MVNO service. While you can look at Google Fi, Visible, Boost Mobile, Metro by T-Mobile, Cricket Wireless, Mint Mobile, Red Pocket, Ting, you can look at all of them. And the one thing they all have in common is that if you were to look at the priority access level to those networks, they're going to be low, right? So Google Fi obviously is going to have a higher QCI number because of the fact is that it's Google and it's using T-Mobile, and T-Mobile's not going to let them have the same priority access as T-Mobile postpaid customers do, because they don't want T-Mobile postpaid customers to say, hey, I can get this with Google Fi, let me just go to them. So there has to be a part that stays competitive. So Fi doesn't have the same priority access level as postpaid T-Mobile. Visible doesn't have the same priority access as postpaid Verizon. So if you were to go to those parent companies, you would get better service. Los Mobile is different. Los Mobile has a higher priority access level than AT&T prepaid, than Cricket Wireless, and any other MVNO that uses AT&T network. Los Mobile actually has priority access as if you were a business account. I believe their priority access level is at the same as the business elite plans from AT&T. So you get unlimited talk, you get unlimited text, you get unlimited data, you get unlimited hotspot, and it's not slowed down, capped, throttled, or anything like that. It is a wide open free for all. This is like a 5-year-old kid put into a padded room with every delectable sugar sweet option that child could ever dream of, being able to have access to it and bounce off the walls in the sugar craze and fall into a sugar coma. That is the access level you get with Los Mobile. Los Mobile can be run on Android and on iPhone. And when you turn on the hotspots, you can use it to connect multiple devices. You can use it for your home internet, for Christ's sakes. I mean, they offer it out that way. You can either get a phone line service through Los Mobile, or you can get a mobile hotspot service from Los Mobile. Either way, you can get fully unlimited. All right, close my door, please. Say hello to my son. So that's where Los Mobile really is competitive against all other prepaid MVNO options, is that your priority access level is much higher. The amount of data and stuff that you can use is pretty much wide open to an extent. Now, of course, it is a new prepaid MVNO. What up, Mike? It is a new prepaid MVNO. So right now it's being built from the ground up. The CEO of the company is an average person just like you and me. So it's not a person who went through like several years of college and business management to come out and buy a company and then just build it on up. This is just a working man's man from building it from scratch, from the ground up, and little by little implementing things into the service that he's offering to the country. Making it to where we as a customer feel like that we're getting more bang for our buck. I believe that the monthly price for Los Mobile is $65. Actually, let me go to their website. They just launched their website, so USA.com. And I will drop this link in the chat. So if you guys want to check out Los Mobile yourselves directly, you guys can. And so let's look at this. Is from, I don't know, I'm kind of excited. So we shot plans here. And okay. So Los Mobile unlimited phone plan is $65 a month. The Los Mobile hotspot jetpack line, which is basically the mobile hotspot. You know what? Let me screen share this. Off topic, but what are your thoughts on CM Punk's return last night? I'm all in for AEW. Like, WWE lost me as a viewer. Yeah, I went pretty much bananas after watching it. So let me screen share the Los Mobile website, and I'll show you. Yeah, I'm a diehard CM Punk fan. Wherever he's at, that's where they're gonna get my support. So, all right. Anyways, okay. So hold on, it's not up yet. I forgot I have to do this all the time. All right. Okay, so here we have it. Los Mobile. If you guys want the website, I put it in chat. LosMobileUSA.com. Okay. Here's how it goes. All right. So it's powered by the Death Star network. Whoever designed this has a good sense of humor. Well, let's shop plans. Okay. I'm probably going to write a review and have it posted onto this website. All right, so you have the unlimited, so Los Mobile unlimited phones, right? $65 a month right now. Currently, it goes for 75, but there is a promo right now. It's $65 a month. All right, that's unlimited talk and data. So we'll pop this open here so you guys can see. $65 a month. You save $10. That's 13%, right? So it's an additional $5 if you don't have a SIM card. If you have an AT&T SIM card already, they can activate that. So it says right here, ICC ID or EID, it's optional. Plug in your IMEI and everything like that. Anyways, but $65 a month. It is unlimited everything. That's the reason why that they don't have to like really outline details of the plan itself, is because it's just unlimited. You also have access to get this right here, the Los Mobile hotspot or jetpack line. This normally goes for $90. There's you save $10, so 11% discount on it, and literally it is just a mobile hotspot. And you can use this to power all your devices in your house. So like if you have like a smart TV, laptop, tablet, phones without SIM cards in it, this you can connect it all to this and use it all. If you guys want to know how good the mobile hotspot is, basically watch Sneed Mobile Tech live, because he tells you that when he's live streaming to YouTube, he's using Los Mobile Network. He's using that hotspot right there. So if it can power his live stream, that's pretty dang good. And then you have the Los Mobile Unlimited tablet line. So this is just a data only. I'm assuming it doesn't assign any mobile number. And you can use this for your iPad, etc. So, oh wow, I like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Anyways, it's $70 right now, so you save $10. It goes for $80. That's $70, and you can put in your iPad and run your iPad on its own native data connection, right? And like they said, it's powered by the Death Star, so that's obviously AT&T reference right there. So like he says right here, we've got the service you want. Most mobile phone service powered by the Death Star network. Shop now. Quality network. We offer unlimited hotspot data on the AT&T 4G LTE 5G network. This plan gives you the best network access, reliable customer service. So they do have a customer service group and everything like that. Let's see. You have this chat option here at the bottom. Put your name, your mobile number, and how they can help you. And a chat rep will get back to you, basically. So that's cool. Satisfaction guarantee. If you're unhappy about your service, you can always cancel anytime. This is a no contract 30-day plan. So it's an MVNO. I'm really digging that. So they got their featured products. Now, if you're like, what phones do they sell? They don't sell any phones currently at this time. Like I said, this is a carrier that's being built from the ground up. And so right now, there's not any devices sold on their website. However, there will be in the future, more than likely, because again, this is not like your Boost Mobiles and Metro by T-Mobiles. Even though it's kind of put in that category, Los Mobile's not calibrated like they are. The CEO himself and the collective group that is Los Mobile, their concern is providing the best mobile service to us. So that's the best way I'm saying. I'm emphasizing it slowly so I don't project the wrong idea. Okay. And that's that, So name me a prepaid company that gives you higher than postpaid priority access to the network, but is a prepaid under postpaid. Google Fi doesn't do that. Visible doesn't do that. Verizon Prepaid doesn't do that. Boost doesn't do that. Metro doesn't do that. Cricket doesn't do that. Red Pocket doesn't do that. Ting doesn't do that. Mint Mobile doesn't do that because they are what they are. They are basically prepaid or mobile virtual network operators who utilize the parent company's network to provide their customers connection. Now you're probably going to ask yourselves, well, if that's the case, how did this happen? Because when did AT&T want to put a stop to it? And that's where I'm saying the owner of Los Mobile, who basically listens to what we have to say, he has the gift of gab. He has a way to cement deals. So he has the tricks of the trade. I'm just going to say it like that. I'm not going to tell you what those things are, but he has the tricks of the trade. He has a gift of gab, which means that he can talk with any business company and finesse great options and great deals on behalf of us. He is advocating for us. So I know it sounds like I'm like a generic ad for it, but the reason I'm saying is because literally there's no bullshit to it. There's no bullshit to Los Mobile. There's just not. I dare anyone to try them. Sign up. I mean, it just says 30 days risk free. There's no contracts. Try them. Now, the big emphasis on this, and this is the only caveat to Los Mobile. The only caveat. If AT&T doesn't work good in your area, Los Mobile will not work good in your area. Okay? While the people at Los Mobile are great, they're not magicians. So they can't just make AT&T work there. If AT&T couldn't make AT&T work there, Los Mobile's not going to make AT&T work there. Let's just put it like that. But at the end of the day, that's the only caveat I have. Oh, Mav, I already put the link up here. See? LosMobileUSA.com. I already put the link right there. Are these showing in the YouTube thread? Let me know. Let me know if they are, because, yeah. But anyhow, yeah, if you want to go to the website, it's LosMobileUSA.com. Simple as that. Now, if I had to narrow it down to one, like completely narrow it down to one, if I only had to really choose one, it depends on my life circumstance. So really, it is a toss-up. I am going to say use Los Mobile. And the reason why is that while I depend on Google Fi for that international calling, I'm sure down the road as Los Mobile gets better and better, that some international options may come into play. Maybe they might be able to finesse a deal where they have a similar type of calling system where you can call to 50 plus countries for free. Who knows? I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. Don't quote me and say, hey, Tito said that Los Mobile is going to get unlimited international calling to 50 plus countries. Don't do that. I'm just saying they could do something like that. I'm not rushing them. It's something that's got to take time as this company continues to grow. All I'm saying is that if I can only walk away with one, then I'm grabbing the one that has Los Mobile and walking away. I will leave Visible and Google Fi behind, and I will use Los Mobile. I get the unlimited talk, text, and data, which is very similar to Visible. AT&T is pretty dependent on a lot of places that I go, so I get pretty good speeds wherever I go. The mobile hotspot comes in handy, and I can live stream from it, as I've live streamed from Los Mobile's connection as well. The only thing it lacks is the international calling, but if my mom has the Los Mobile number that I have, if she has my number, she can call me and I can talk to her. I don't get charged because she's called me on that number before and it hasn't been charged. So, yeah, that's what I have for everybody today when it comes to Google Fi versus Visible versus Los Mobile in 2021. So this is comparing what these companies offer currently right now. I've done videos like this before, and some things have slightly changed with the companies from then till now. And so I'll continue to update people as these are the three carriers that I use. So if I'm going to choose carriers to use, it's going to be Google Fi, Visible, and Los Mobile. It's going to be those three. Mint Mobile's nice. They do bulk offerings, but Um, yeah, I get a little bit of something with each of these three. That's why these are the three that I use. So, anyhow, I think that's pretty much it for today. So, I want to thank everybody who came in and watched. This was like a not planned live stream, by the way. So this was just like a Saturday, whatever. Um, and yeah, as Mike said, I was gonna say this anyways at the end of this live stream because I watch wrestling. I don't care what anyone says. It's fake, bro. I don't care. You watch the Avengers. That's fake. Whatever made you think that there was really a talking raccoon. But anyways, um, yeah, I'm like super excited that CM Punk is in AEW. And I can't wait for September 5th where he goes one-on-one with Darby Allin. That's going to be pretty awesome. And WWE has lost me as a lifelong fan. It's not that WWE is bad. It's just they make very bad business decisions. And of course, the release of talent. I mean, people are posting this meme talking about Monday Night Raw stands for release all wrestlers. But they lost quite a bit of people. And AEW is just growing. I mean, you have Jim Ross, good old JR on commentary, along with Mark Henry, along with Taz. Those are memorable names that people who slightly watch wrestling would know who they are, right? They have Sting, who was like one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. I mean, I was a Sting fanatic when I was a kid. For Halloween, I dressed up as him because Sting emulated one of my favorite comic books from a comic book writer named James O'Barr, who wrote the series called The Crow. And I've been a fan of those movies, especially, the very first one with Brandon Lee. The other ones were okay, but they kind of they really kind of washed out those movies. But the first Crow is always going to be my favorite to watch. And Steve Borden basically emulated that character, and then the NWO, which was like an extremely awesome faction in wrestling. And you know what? So Sting was one of my favorites. So Sting is there. John Moxley, where people know him in WWE as Dean Ambrose. You have Chris Jericho there, Kenny Omega. There's just a list of names. And then, of course, the joint adventure partnership with, TNA Impact, and you have New Japan Pro. You have all these different companies kind of working together with some really good talent in there. And I'm really looking for Wyndham Rotunda to basically hopefully have some sort of cool character. Something, I mean, I don't know why he just doesn't bring The Fiend to AEW, but, I mean, he's a mastermind behind character development anyway. So I've seen a drawing that he drew on his iPad that he posted online, and it was called Cult of Wyndham. So who knows? Maybe he's going to kind of reinvent the Bray Wyatt character and create this Cult of Wyndham. I mean, if he showed the AEW, it would make a great story anyways. Because before Brody passed, basically, people would know him as Luke Harper. Luke Harper was part of the Wyatt family in WWE. So if Wyndham goes to AEW and develops a similar type atmosphere character built around kind of the same principles of the Wyatt family, but just the Cult of Wyndham, that actually would be pretty cool. And he has a crazy, insane idea, character development and everything. As far as what he's done, I mean, when he showed what the Fiend was going to be to Vince McMahon before even debuting the Firefly Funhouse and all this stuff, he scared the crap out of Vince. From what I've read online, literally, he didn't tell Vince what the character was going to be. He got a meeting with him. He went in. He had the mask done. And for those who don't know, the person who built the mask, so Wyndham designed it, and it was built by the same person who builds the mask for the metal band Slipknot. And so that's how the Fiend character, the mask and everything, it just looks crazy insane. But he put that mask on and he walked into Vince's office in character and scared Vince to the point that Vince was like, this is going to work. And then, of course, they redeveloped the character. They made the Firefly Funhouse episodes, which was great because, Mr. Rogers type atmosphere and all the fun-loving puppet characters. And then the Fiend debuts and just demolishes um, what's his name, Finn Balor in his debut match, and going forward, all the different things he did, including taking Alexa Bliss and just kind of like warping and twisting her mind, and now and she's still running. She's still running her character that's supposed to be with the Fiend, even though the Fiend is no longer in WWE. She's still running that character. She's doing it very well. So shouts out to her. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I watch wrestling, but hearing what CM Punk had to say at AEW Rampage, and then also him acknowledging Darby Allin and telling him, that they're on for their match September 5th, and then he also kind of called out Sting. But it's great. It's great. CM Punk is one for the books. And if you guys don't know who CM Punk is, he's most notoriously known in WWE for not having a filter on the mic. So the famous pipe bomb that he did, where he literally said that, he thought the company would be better when Vince McMahon passes away, but then it would be given to his idiot son-in-law, his idiot daughter and his doofus son-in-law. That wasn't a scripted thing. That wasn't something that they said, "Hey, say this on your promo." He literally got in trouble for that. So that was, he's not one to shy away from speaking his mind. But anyways, yeah, I'm super excited for that, Mike, if you're still watching. So I'm looking forward to a lot. AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays, Rampage on Fridays. So, and AEW Dynamite literally smashed NXT. So there's like all these articles popping up about Paul Levesque basically in trouble. Paul Levesque is Triple H, by the way, but he's kind of in trouble with Vince because NXT kind of lost the Wednesday Night Wars, and now they got AEW Rampage, which goes on Friday. That's actually going to contend against SmackDown. So it almost seems like Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes are strategically taking down each of the shows they have, leaving Monday Night Raw for last to reignite the Monday Night Wars. But anyways, that's for a different thing. If you guys want me to post videos about that on the Reddit page, follow my Reddit page and everything like that. I post every day on there, post videos. There's exclusive videos only on the Reddit page itself. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll share a link to that too. You can follow me on Reddit. Like I said, there's going to be exclusive videos that only goes on Reddit. So you will not find it. I won't be adding them to YouTube at all. They will never be seen on YouTube. They will never be seen on any other platform. And then, I dropped one the other night. Hang on. Okay. We are signed in. Come on. There you go. All right, let me just post this in the chat. If you guys want to follow my Reddit page and get additional content and, conversate with me on there, there is a link to my community on Reddit. There is a live chat feed that is constantly going. You can pop in there, post whatever you want. If you guys want to share, your stories, like I know Bobby likes to share, what happens with him and his business dealings with Verizon. If you want to share those, you can go to my Reddit page, write your story there, share it there for other people to read. You can share your speed test results. You can share with pictures of your new device you bought, or maybe a device you're interested in. If you like nostalgic mobile technology, you can post and talk about it. I don't care. It's a free for all. Just keep it clean. No NSFWs. None of that stuff, because I will block you out of there and delete your post. But other than that, you can freely post whatever you want. And so, yeah, I'm trying to get this one going. This one I will stick with because I'm pretty avid on Reddit. I'm on Reddit every day reading stuff. So I'm always on there. So, yeah. Don't worry about the Discord. I just can't keep up with that. Twitter and other places I'm going to start kind of stepping back away from and not really avidly posting on there. But Reddit, I will post on that feed all the time with updates, polls, pictures, content. So I'll be making exclusive Reddit videos. And I'm able to say what I want to say that YouTube won't let me say. So that's another thing too. Only thing that's down about Reddit is that I don't have live streaming capabilities to Reddit. I really wish they would open that up for Reddit community owners, because then I would live stream more on Reddit. But anyways, yeah, that's the link to it. So I'll just pop it up here. There's the link to Reddit. You guys follow my community there. I got 8 people so far. I talked about it yesterday when I finally launched it yesterday. 8 people joined. So shout out to the 8 people that joined. I appreciate you guys. If more want to come in and join, I really appreciate that too. So that's pretty much it for right now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this Saturday live stream, and more videos coming y'all's way here on YouTube, and I will see you guys later. And as always, oh yeah, by the way, new Ghostbusters shirt. On point. All right, guys. Peace. Aloha.